I am reminded of an ancient story which I want all of you to take back home. There was a big emperor, and as the stories would have, he had 3 sons. He loved each one of them with all his heart. He could not decide who he wanted to give the empire to. So the emperor, one fine day, he calls all 3 of his sons and says, "Here, I'm giving you a beautifully decorated box. There's something inside this box. Keep it safe till I return, and I'm going away into the forest for 10 years. All 3 sons, they took this box. After 10 years, when the emperor returned, he went to the first son and he said, "Where is the box?" The son smiled. He said, "Father, you had told me to preserve it, to keep it as it is. So here's a room, there's a locker. Inside that I've put the box. And I have kept security 24 hours to make sure nobody enters, nobody comes out." He opens up that box. In that box, there were seeds. And he told his father that these seeds are as they were, and I'm returning back to you just as you had told me. Preservation. He goes to the second son and says, "Where is the box I gave you?" The son said, "When I looked into the box, I saw seeds. And I knew you were going to come back after 10 years. So every year I exchange those seeds for new seeds. So now I am returning the seeds to you, which you can really grow." Exchange meaning renovation. One son went for preservation. The other went for renovation. He goes to the third son and he says, "Dear son, where are the seeds that I gave you?" He takes his father behind the palace and he shows him a forest. He says, "Dad, in 10 years, all the trees have grown." That is rejuvenation. There will be 3 types of students inside this parliament. Those who would go back and say, "We love our culture, we love our values, let's preserve them as they are in the scriptures." Great, that's preservation. The others will say, "Let's change our ideas from the old to the new," renovation. But I want each one of you to go out from here and rejuvenate our values. That is the goal of this parliament. Go out into the world, plant the seeds in your own heart, and go out and grow the seeds around you if we want a beautiful India. But as you are young, the biggest challenge that you will face even after this parliament is people will tell you are too young. And some people will tell you are too inexperienced. But I am here, stand before you to remind you of one eternal and immortal fact, that youth is perhaps the most dynamic and most creative and productive phase of the human life. Why? You have the power to think, and you have the power to think different. When we were babies, other people thought for us. And when you get old, nobody thinks for you. Youth is the only phase when you can think for yourself and create a difference on this earth. So, take advantage of what you have. But you might tell me, "Swami, how should we think different?" Let's change the laws of the game. Number 1, if you are here in this youth parliament, and if you think that you are here to seek solutions, you are wrong. I believe if you can even ask the right questions, you will find solutions. The ability to ask questions is not a sign of ignorance, it's a sign of intelligence. Einstein often said that if I had a problem and my whole life depended upon that problem, and I had just 1 hour to solve that problem, I would spend 55 minutes in asking the right questions. The answer will appear in the last 5. Most importantly, learn to ask questions which are positive. If you can ask the questions positively, you will find an answer to change our nation. If you keep asking positively, if you keep asking selflessly, then God will create an environment that you will discover that answer for the whole world. I have a few questions which I keep holding in my heart. And I believe it's not for the government, but it is for the young minds, the enlightened minds who are sitting here. You know my question? Never before in the history of humanity there have been more peace conferences, more peace summits, more religious people talking about peace, I'm included, more leaders wanting peace, more population searching for peace. Never before in the history of humanity there have been more awareness of peace. Then why is the largest earning industry in the world armaments? Think about it. Never before in the history of humanity we've had more systems, places, more mechanisms for entertainment and happiness. Look at resorts, look at movies, look at 3Ds, look at animation, look at customized entertainment, look at entertainment on the mobile, look at video games. Never before in the history of humanity we've had more systems of entertainment. Then why are we such a bored civilization, and why the surest selling drug in the world is antidepressant? And the third question which I share, and I want to share with you, that never before in the history of humanity we have been more connected. Not just letters, not just telephones, not just mobiles, not just emails, not just Facebooks, not just Instagrams, not just Snapchats, not just the weird things that we connect ourselves with. Then why are we feeling so lonely when we don't see a blue tick? Dr. Kalam, our most beloved president, he came with a question to His Holiness Pramukh Swami, and I want to share and conclude. He came to His Holiness Pramukh Swami, and I happen to be the translator. That's why I want to share this incident. He laid out a plan, and he told Pramukh Swami that, Swamiji, me and 500 great thinkers of India from all fields, whether it's finance, whether it's economics, whether it's engineering, whether it's management, all fields and CEOs, selected 500 have sat down for 1 year trying to figure out how should India develop for 2020. And he said, we have identified 5 areas. 1, health and education. File it in your mind, health and education. The second, agriculture. The third, information technology and communication. The fourth, infrastructure. We need to create buildings, we need to create roads, we need to create bridges, we need to create electricity, infrastructure. And the fifth, he said, critical technology, like genetic engineering, nuclear engineering, stem cells. So he said, these are the 5 areas. If Indians and India develops, we would become the most powerful country in the world. When all this was explained, Pramukh Swami very gently said, Sahib no ko kai khute che. Kalam asked me, what is he saying? I said, he's saying something is missing. And then Kalam asked, what is it missing, Swami? Swami said, add a 6th value, faith in God. Without faith, nothing is possible. Faith in God and our country gives you that power to evolve. That's when Kalam understood that a country cannot be measured. It cannot be measured by roads, infrastructures, buildings, and technology. A country is measured by the caliber and character of the people it produces.